Can this laptop replace your gaming desktop? This is the ASUS ROG GL702VM, a gaming laptop with a desktop-grade GTX 1060 in it. It also has a quad-core i7-6700HQ paired with 8 gigs of RAM that is upgradable up to 32 gigs. Attached to this thin and insanely powerful machine is a 1080p IPS G-Sync enabled screen, a keyboard, and a trackpad. It's basically a desktop in a laptop form. Even its port selection is quite desktop-like. Now, obviously, it's not got the quantity of a desktop, but it's got the selection: HDMI, DisplayPort, USB Type-C, SD card reader, and 3 normal-sized USB ports. Now, I'm sure that you guys are very interested in seeing the performance of the GTX 1060 graphics card, so let's get into the benchmarks before we get into everything else like screen, keyboard, and all of that. So as you can see on the benchmarks here, the GTX 1060 in this laptop is very powerful. Now, I have noticed frame drops, however, a little bit now and then, which is why I recommend using G-Sync when gaming on the laptop screen and capping the FPS to 60 or your screen's refresh rate when not. So what does G-Sync do? Well, when G-Sync is enabled, it limits the max FPS to the screen's refresh rate, which in this case is 75. I recommend everyone using G-Sync instead of the higher FPSs, as anything over 75 does not help when gaming on the laptop's display. If you, however, happen to have a non-G-Sync monitor with a higher refresh rate like 144 Hz, obviously use that. The benefit with G-Sync is that gaming feels smoother as it synchronizes your screen's refresh rate with the FPS you get. That means both a smoother feel and no screen tearing whatsoever, and in this case it also lets the GPU run more stable, quiet, and most importantly, cool. The build quality of the actual laptop is not that great. It's mainly made out of plastic, which makes it feel not as premium as a laptop with a full metal design, and in terms of portability, it's a 17-inch laptop, it's bound to be big and heavy. It actually weighs 6 pounds, but it's still one of the smaller and thinner 17-inch gaming laptops. This exact laptop is available in a 15-inch format, which would obviously be a better choice for people going to LAN parties and stuff like that. The keyboard is one of the clicker feeling ones, which gamers love. It's got a backlight, not RGB though, so you cannot change the colors. And a thing I don't like with the keyboard is the quick access tools, because there are no media controls on them. Now, the trackpad is nowhere near close to Apple's, but it is one of the better Windows-based trackpads. The SSD is in the M.2 format. It's SATA though, so you will be getting pretty average SSD speeds. Inside the laptop, there's also a normal hard drive, which is great for game and media storage. In terms of battery life, you can expect around 6 hours of video playback and around 1.5 hours of gaming. But the thing with these big and powerful laptops are that you're not getting the maximum performance when gaming on battery. The inbuilt battery just cannot supply enough power, so don't expect to game without a wall outlet nearby. So to answer the question, can this laptop replace your gaming PC? Well, yes, if you've got power nearby. The GTX 1060 is pretty much perfect. It can handle any game you throw at it at 1080p and at least medium settings. So with that said, who is this laptop for? It's basically for gamers on the go with a wall outlet nearby, so on the train, a LAN party, and stuff like that. It works perfectly. So what do you guys think of the ASUS ROG GL702VM? Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.